Welcome back to Pages of Faith. The verse of the day, Wednesday, the price of betrayal. The verse, Matthew 26, verses 14 through 16. Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 apostles, went to the leading priest and asked, "How much will you pay for me to betray Jesus to you?" And they gave him 30 pieces of silver. From that time on, Judas began looking for an opportunity to betray Jesus. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the betrayal? What's the price of loyalty for Judas? It was 30 pieces of silver, the cost of a slave in ancient times. It was the day friendship was sold, trust was shattered, and love was betrayed. And the most painful part, it wasn't a stranger. It was someone from within the circle, someone Jesus had shared bread with. Holy Thursday is often called Spy Wednesday for a reason. The day Judas quietly made that deal. And it reminds us the most dangerous betrayals often come from people closest to us, and that we too are capable of denying Jesus with our choices we make. Jesus knew Judas's heart. He knew the plan, and still he washed his feet. He called him to the table. And that's the depth of Jesus's love. Even when we betray him, he invites us back. Let's sit with the tension this verse brings. I mean, it touches me. It makes me so emotional when I even think about it. The betrayal wasn't sudden, it was slow. Judas was watched for the right time. It was calculated. And still Jesus didn't stop loving him. Can you imagine that? And the question this verse asks us is, what's your 30 pieces of silver? What compromises your loyalty to Jesus? Is it comfort, approval, pride? Think about it. What does this verse teach us about God? God's love continues even when we fail him. Jesus still included Judas in his final moments. He gives us space to return even after betrayal. God sees our hidden motives, not surprises. Nothing surprises him. Nothing. He knew what Judas was planning. He knew it. And yet, he still walked the road to the cross for all of us. God allows free will, even when it hurts him. My mom always said, if something would happen, like, oh, if I was in a car accident, well, you chose to drive. You chose to be there. If your plane crashes, you chose to fly that day. You chose everything you do. You choose it. So God allows free will, even when it hurts him. He didn't stop Judas because love never forces. God's plan includes redemption for even our darkest moments we have. And what does this verse teach us about ourselves as human beings, as followers of Christ? We are capable of compromise. Like Judas, we may trade faithfulness for comfort or status. Betrayal doesn't always look like a kiss. It can be a silent pride or distraction. Talking about. Sometimes I wonder what Well, we made it to Wednesday. Pages of Faith. Holy Week, Wednesday. Some people call this day Spy Wednesday. The price of betrayal is today. Matthew 26:14 reads, Then one of the 12, one of the ones called Judas Iscariot, he went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand Jesus over. What's the price of your loyalty? For Judas, it was 30 pieces of silver, the cost of a slave in ancient times. It was the day friendship was sold. Trust was shattered. Love was betrayed. And the most painful part, it wasn't a stranger. It was someone within Jesus' circle, someone Jesus trusted and shared bread with. Holy Wednesday is called, like I said, often called Spy Wednesday, the day Judas quietly made that deal. And it reminds us that the most dangerous betrayals often come from people closest to us, and that we too are capable of denying Jesus from our choices. And Jesus knew Judas's heart, like he knows yours. He knew the plan, and still he washed his feet, and still he called him to the table. And that's the depth of Jesus' love. Even when we betray him, he invites us back. So let's just sit with the tension this verse brings. The betrayal wasn't sudden. It was slow, calculated. Judas waited for the right time to stab him in the back, and still Jesus didn't stop loving him. The question this verse asks us, what's your 30 pieces of silver? What compromises your loyalty to Christ? Is it comfort, approval, pride? What does this verse teach us about God? Love continues even when we fail him. God's love continues. Jesus still included Judas in the final moments. He gives us space to return even after betrayal. God sees our hidden motives. He knows what's in our heart. And nothing surprises him. He knew what Judas was planning. And yet, he still walked the road to the cross for all of us. Sometimes I don't get it. God allows free will, even when it hurts him. He doesn't stop Judas because his love never forces. God's plan includes redemption for even our darkest moments. So what does this verse teach us about ourselves as human beings, as followers of Christ? We are capable of compromise. Like Judas, we may trade faithfulness for comfort or status. Betrayal doesn't always look like a kiss. It can be silence. It could be pride or distraction. And we often portray with subtle steps, just like Judas did. Judas didn't walk away all at once. He watched for an opportunity. And we too often drift step by step when we stop guarding our hearts. So we must examine what we treasure, what we're willing to trade. Jesus reveals what we truly value. Is it control, money, image? How do we apply this verse to our lives? We invite him to reveal any area where we've compromised. Confession isn't shame. It's the beginning of healing. Stay close when it's hard. And don't let disappointment or confusion create a distance from God. Stay at the table, stay in the Word, and stay surrendered. Jesus values all of the above. Value Jesus above all else. Choose obedience over convenience. Protect your time with them. Guard it like a treasure, like a sacred treasure. And remind yourself daily, he's worth more than 30 pieces of silver. He's worth more than silver or success. Judas traded Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, but we're invited to trade the world for him. His love is still available, even after betrayal. Grace isn't cheap, but it's offered freely. So take time today to ask, what's your 30? What's your silver? Is it a habit that's pulling you away? A grudge that's choking your joy? A dream that you're clinging to more tightly than you are to Jesus? Lay it down at the foot of the cross. Let it be the Wednesday where you watch for an opportunity to return, not to betray. On this Holy Wednesday, we sit with the pain of betrayal, but also the hope of forgiveness. Judas made a deal, but Jesus made a way. Reflect and pray. Jesus, forgive me for the times I've chosen lesser things over you. Help me stay faithful. Help me stay close. It is Holy Thursday when Jesus washes the feet. And it comes up to the Last Supper. And then Good Friday. And then the Passion. Stay with us. I'll see you again next week. I'll see you again on Friday. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. I'll see you on Thursday. Yes, Thursday, Holy Thursday. I can't help it. I got so much. This is a hard week for me. This is one of the most sacred weeks of the year. Remember that. I'll see you next time on Pages of Faith. Kids are going to shut off. Bye.